So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eazy Conversations. Thanks a lot to everyone who listened to the last episode featuring the homie Matt, Dallas, Nez, and I. Dallas and Nez, you absolutely killed it on here, and we look forward to having you on again down the road. So now for episode 129 of Eazy Conversations, I'm extremely excited, of course, to be back in the studio virtually with the homie Matt. So what's up with the people?
What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great time right now. Eric, we just finished three epic episodes, three top 10 shows. Now it's back to what we normally do, and I'm excited for tonight's episode. Why don't you tell the listeners what we're going to be discussing?
Yeah, same here. Those last three are kind of automatic in where we know what we're doing going into the year. Like we got our three top tens back to back to back. Now it's kind of back to the drawing board and coming up with original ideas to present to you, all the listeners. So for this episode, we're going to be doing more of a step away from movies and pop culture and stuff, and more relatable, I think. Just talking about workout etiquette in the gym and in the home gym as well. Just kind of talking about workout culture, really, which I feel like is kind of seasonally correct as well. Where going into the new year, that's a lot of people's resolution is to get maybe back on that fitness journey. Maybe they renewed their gym membership that they've been that it's been on the back burner for the last 3-4 years and trying to dive back into it. So we'll look to kind of give everyone some tips and tricks of the trade for how you should and shouldn't act in the gym. But before we get into all of that, I thought we could kind of just talk about our own respective fitness journeys, kind of where we're at right now. So Matt, where are you at right now with your own, like I said, I guess, fitness journey, and are you working out? How often? All that. Just give us a high-level overview of what's going on over there.
All right, so for me, workout-wise, well, let me give a tiny background. I've been working out since 2018, and I started working out in the gym, and that lasted up until I moved out into the country right now. Right now I'm living near Arnprior, not a lot of gyms. The ones that are there are non-chains, and they're more expensive basically, and they're not as good as a Good Life or Movati or Fit for Less. Anyways, so I have to do the home workout right now. So my situation right now is home workout in my garage. I have my own little setup that I'll get into later or after. But basically, I've been pretty consistent, Eric. I haven't missed, other than going on trips and stuff, I haven't missed a workout in years. I'm pretty consistent week to week. Even if I don't do the same, even if I don't go as hard one week, I'm always doing something, which is the key. I read that in the Atomic Habits books. As long as you keep doing something, you won't break that habit. I have not broken my workout habit in half a decade, so It's really good for me so far. There's some, we'll get into the gym versus home workout after, but definitely has its perks and disadvantages. But I have my setup in my garage, Eric. I guess I can just go into my setup right now. What I have, guys, is I have a bench, not a bench press bench, just a simple bench that folds into a seated seat. So I could do, and I have dumbbells and a barbell, two barbells I have, one for bench press, one for curls, and I have my dumbbells and plates, and that's what I rock with, guys. And you know what? You can do so much with just dumbbells. That could be your whole setup right there. But, and I rotate. I'm very bad, guys, and we'll talk about your routine after it, but I'm very bad at doing the same thing over and over and over again, where I get so comfortable doing it. It's not, I don't think I'm building any muscle, guys. I think I'm just maintaining and keeping tone, but I'm not actually strengthening up because I'm not adding more. I'm limited to the amount of weights I do have, right?
Yeah.
So, my heaviest dumbbells are 35s, and my heaviest, I only have plates that are 25 pounds, two of those. I have two 25s and four plates that are 10 pounds. So, that's as much as I can put for a bench press or a squat or whatever. I'm very limited in that sense. But do you want me to get into specific exercises, Eric, or did you want to talk about your setup, what you've been doing?
Yeah, I'll go into my situation as well, and then we'll get into specific exercise and stuff, because it looks like we're both in the same situation where I also don't go to the gym. I used to go back in the day, I want to say from 2012 to 17, maybe 18 even, inconsistently and for on and off, pretty much alternating through multiple gyms. Good Life, Ray Friel, ORC. I think those are pretty much the big ones. Or Bob McQuarrie. I don't know what ORC. I don't even know if that is a gym, honestly. But Yeah, so right now home workouts been since COVID pretty much. I got back into the home workout routine. Used to do workouts with my mom and my brother. Then my aunt was in there as well, and then with Andy, who I now do more workouts with. Like we try to do workouts together at home, which I feel like is important to have someone else
Mm-hmm.
to do exercises with because it kind of motivates you to want to first of all to make keep you accountable like hey we should probably work
Yeah,
out, it's been a few days that we haven't, so that's always good. And then when you're working out with someone else you don't really want to be seen like slacking also and like not pushing yourself, so it makes you want to go a bit harder, or it does for me anyways, because I
exactly.
feel like when I work out alone I maybe take it a little easier. I'm like I don't really. Doing a workout's better than not doing one, so I don't really need to push it. But then when Andy's there, I'm like, all right, let's add another like 5 or 10 on each
Of
side, you know.
course, of
So that is
course.
good, but it's still for me like that finding the motivation to work out all the time, not always there, and I'm trying to
Hmm.
really get back into it. There is the big thing, and you said a lot of really good points that are relatable for me too. In that, with the home workouts, like you just don't have the same access that you would at a gym. Um, but the other thing I want to say, so I guess just for what our situation is, no bench, which we're missing, would be nice to have a bench, even if it's like you said, not an official gym certified bench. Just having that to be elevated off the ground, it lets you
Hmm.
do a lot of exercises like bench press. For us, we have a barbell, but would be on the ground and then just lifting that up. It can be kind of awkward
Yeah,
where you're like having to have someone lift it for you and then you slide under it, hold. Like if you don't have those like
yeah.
that automatic hold, like the I don't know if it's a rack that you'd call it, it's a bit trickier. And then for like squats is really hard to do. You can't really squat if you don't have a partner to spot you, right? So yeah,
Apparent, 100%.
dumbbells and then bands as well would be the other like equipment that we have.
Those are good. Let's talk about motivation. I like that. That's a good topic right there. It extremely hard with a home gym or a home setup to be motivated. Like I do my workouts now only on my days off because I work long days. I don't want to work out after work, but like I do my workout, Eric, 30 to 40 minutes after I wake up because I know the
Mm,
longer I wait, I ain't doing that freaking workout.
yeah.
I eat breakfast, have my coffee, 20 minutes later, I'm in the garage doing it. I'm so glad it's 30, 40 minutes tops 40 minutes. And I'm so happy because I'm like, I have my whole day ahead of me. I'm done my workout. If I don't do my workout right away, I know it's not getting done.
Yeah.
So first thing in the morning to help me push myself.
Hmm.
Another trick I use, and I've brought this up probably before, talking about like habits and tricking you into like doing something you're not really a big fan of. I associate my workout time with when I get to listen to podcasts and music albums. So while I'm
Okay.
doing my workout, maybe I'm knocking a 2024 album out of the way, listening to it, writing my thoughts on it. Because yes, I'm already starting my prep, Eric. I'm already writing,
Nice.
cataloging my 2024 albums.
Let's go.
So it's like giving myself another task to do during my workout. So that's good. It makes the workout more bearable. No one loves working out. We all love the feeling after
Mm,
we feel good. You know, you feel the pump in your arms, great feeling. You feel like healthy and energized. And while I'm doing my workout, I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. Seriously, like thinking about doing my workout is worse than the actual
oh
workout
yeah.
itself. And I think you can relate to that. So no motivation, just pushing myself, get in the garage, get in there. And Eric, like it's not fun. Like I got my toque and my gloves on and my coat almost doing the workout. It's so
Wow.
cold in my garage. Like I just powered through this. It helps that it's been milder too.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Motivate. Like, do you have any tricks for you, Eric? Like, do yours first thing in the morning, or what's your secret?
Yeah, so that's the thing. For me, it's kind of tough because the days that I go into the office. Okay, so right now I work out. I used to work out at lunchtime, but now I've gotten a bit busier. Like it's a bit tougher to cram a workout in my 1 hour that I have for lunch when I know there's
Yeah,
stuff either waiting for me after the lunchtime at work or before it bleeds into my lunch or it's kind of cutting into my time to work out. So I've now been pushing them
right.
to after work, but so 4 o'clock. And at that point, I'm like
Oof.
already thinking of okay, I've got to prep dinner perhaps, or maybe a lot of it's already prepped, but still like cooking it all and just thinking about everything else that needs to be done before I get to relax
Yeah,
at the end of the day. Then it makes me not want to work out because I'm kind of getting 30 to 40 minutes back where I could be taking care of all these tasks to relax earlier, you know? Working out cuts into that time. But that is now the
Yeah.
only time that really works for me is 4 p.m. or getting up a bit earlier, like you're saying,
Mm.
and do my workout before work, which I would actually love to do. I feel like that's a great way to start your day where you're just buzzing. You're naturally, the endorphins are going. It's a great rush to start your day. You feel productive right out the gate. I feel like you're just seeing
Yeah.
things clearer. Like I used to, when I went to the gym in university, I would go before class. If I had like a 9 a.m. class or whatever, not too early, I could easily work out before class and then go right there. You feel, after the shower too, you just feel really fresh and you feel good about
Agreed.
yourself. But I don't do that right now. Even on the weekend, I don't work out first thing. I like to have my coffee, maybe wait an hour or two, and then I feel like I don't really do what you just described of like eating and then working out. I feel like I would have to digest, and then I use that as an excuse, like, oh, can't work out for another 2 hours. I got to digest properly, you know? So
Yeah, yeah.
maybe it is that play though to just work out first thing, get up a bit earlier and knock it in there, and then get on with the rest of your day. And if that means maybe you go to bed a little earlier because you got up earlier to work
Mm.
out, not the worst trade off, honestly. So, but
Yeah,
to
and
sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, no, finish your point, Eric, because I got lots to say.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, for motivation for me, like obviously, well, to the day now, in 6 months exactly, I'll be getting married. So I do want to get in good shape for our wedding. So that's definitely a motivation for me that where I have been maybe slacking a bit in the last few months, especially in December, like that was a bad month for me and working out wise. I did not work out as much as I should have. Now it's like really crunch time. I want to get back into it, and not there's not going to be any drastic changes to how I look, but just if I can look a little better, even why not, right?
Yeah.
So that would be my motivation right now.
Oh, it's great motivation. Just quickly, I do have a couple pieces of toast for breakfast, so like those things, I don't really feel them in my stomach when I'm working out. I'm not like eating eggs and bacon and then
Right.
jumping around the garage. But another last thing that motivates me is sometimes I'll have something like I'm anticipating to do that I'm looking forward to. Like I'm off. I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm gonna play a couple hours on the computer, like play a video game or something.
Right.
I'll purposely cram my workout before that. I'd be like, get through this freaking workout, Matt, and then you can get rewarded. And
Yeah.
honestly, I have a way less wait time in between sets because I just want to finish my
Right.
workout and I'm super excited. Sometimes I'll cram a workout in before I have to go somewhere. When you have a time limit, like, okay, in half an hour I'm going to my Taekwondo class, do a workout, man, you're super motivated to leave on time. And I'm like OCD with that. So
Right.
perfect time to do a workout. When there's like a time sensitivity, I'm sure you've experienced it with your lunch hour. Like, all right, I got to get it done by 1. Let's
Big
go.
time.
But yeah, you said a lot of good stuff too. I do definitely the home gym. I have a lot of restrictions. You said you with the part like someone with working out with you. My best workouts have been with my dad, like home workouts. He's right there pushing me.
Oh yeah.
It's great, just
There's
like
an
you and
animal.
Andy. Now you're right. I can get lazy. I can go on my phone for a minute or two and be like, oh shit, I got to do my next set. Like hurry up. And I'm limited by, you're right, the weight. Like, I'm not going to do anything dangerous. I don't squat with the barbell. It's way too dangerous by myself. Like, I just use my heaviest dumbbells and I just hold them as close to me as possible and I squat
Front
because I'm
squats.
scared of hurting myself. Same with bench press. I do a bench press like you do, like on the bench, and I just have to like scooch it on my body and kind of like do a sit up and then roll it off me. So, again, limited. I'm not putting 150 pounds on that thing. But yeah, I wish, honestly, like, truthfully, I'd like to go back to the gym because I want a better workout. People are staring at you at a gym. You're not making a fool out of yourself. You want to look good and do a good workout. And I feel like at the gym, I do a way better workout than I do at home. That's without question. But now the thing I have to, do I want to waste gas and mileage and time to go do a better workout? That's basically the only debate for me
Some
right
cheddar
now.
cheese as well, a bit of money. Just
Yeah.
before we get off the home gym front, I want to say something that you mentioned earlier as well. Just like the finding exercise as well, and like kind of getting caught in a rhythm of always doing the same exercise because of
Yeah.
your limitation of not having maybe machines and stuff. That's a huge
Yeah.
struggle of mine, like, to come up with a workout plan of if it's even just 6 exercises that we do. Thinking of those 6 is the biggest struggle of like, all right, we're doing push-ups again. Like it's just, I feel like we're always doing the same things, and
Yeah.
I know there's a million exercises out there too, which is the craziest thing that it shouldn't really be this hard. I guess that's another aspect of laziness on my part is like the willingness to look and explore for new exercises. But I feel like I'm oftentimes just falling back to the classics, always doing the same
Hmm.
exercise like hammer curl, shoulder
Yeah.
press, flies, bench press, squats, knee ups and the
Yeah.
stairs, like ankle raise, like always the same kind of exercises. Do
Yeah.
you struggle with that too, like always thinking of new exercise, or do you actually have a bit of variety in there sometimes?
I struggle a lot. I know I struggle a lot because I'm comfortable doing the same exercises,
Mm,
and I'm like, oh, it's so much easier to just keep doing what I was doing. I struggle with adding weight. Like I could go heavy, I could go harder on some stuff, but I don't do it purposely. I know in the back of my head I do it out of laziness, basically. And in terms of like variety of exercises, I change one up maybe like every 2 3 months. I have a rotation of I do 6 exercises every time I do my workout,
yeah,
but I'll
same.
only switch one of them or one or two every couple months, and it
Okay.
just incorporates something else just to change it up. But no, I'm always forever doing like curls, hammer curls, and same tricep exercises for years,
Yeah.
and lunges and squats. Those will always be amazing. A lunge and a squat, but like always with the same amount of weight, and yeah, and always the same amount of reps. Like I always do 10 or 12. Like I'm super like I should. Why not go until I can't anymore, right? So I don't know. I'm very bad for that, Eric.
What I was gonna say on that point is like something I used to do, and I feel like would be a good thing to incorporate for people like us who maybe we kind of capped out, like you said, we don't have more weights to work with, so and we're always doing the same exercise, but maybe each time you just up your reps by one even. Instead of doing
Right.
12 reps, 12 curls, you're doing 13, the next day 14, and so on. And that's kind of a way to like maybe you kind of see some progress where it's the same weight, but you're pushing yourself each time to do more, and that's how kind of you see some development instead of plateauing. Because I feel like with the home
Yeah.
gym, you're bound to plateau because you
Yeah.
you can't go higher than what you have. So that kind of might be a way to work around that, which is why like
Hmm.
home workout is great. It's so convenient where like you don't have to spend
Hmm.
that time like you said or driving out to a gym. It's way more practical to work out at home obviously.
Yeah.
But if you want the
Yeah.
real gains, and then the variety too, and in a culture where a lot of people are there, all you're seeing them push each other makes you want to go harder. That's where
Hmm.
the gym is beneficial.
Yeah, when you're at the gym, you see there's guys walking around. You see the end product of what you want to be. Like I get jealous, like in a very like competitive way. Like, damn, I want to look like that. But I know that person's worked a hell of a lot harder to achieve that than I have, and has probably failed and practiced and learned stuff like through the years of training. It didn't come. That's the thing that people don't understand, or it took me a while to understand. Was like this person didn't achieve this within a year or two. They've been doing this for a couple decades, 5 years at least. Like it takes a lot of work to look like that and to maintain. So kudos to those people. But that's what I want to like.
Yeah.
I always have when I'm at the gym, I always like live in a fantasy world. Like, okay, I can achieve this. I can do this. And I know that I could, if I put the time and effort, I could do anything, right? We all can.
Yeah.
But the practicality of the home gym, oh my God, you can't beat that, right? Like it's right in my garage. It's perfect. I'm in and out. I don't have to leave the house. It's perfect. Eventually, Eric, and I'm sure this is like a home gym with the proper equipment is the way to go. Like a celebrity home gym,
Yeah, yeah.
which costs a fortune. But like even just chipping away at it throughout the years, like adding stuff to it, that'd be great. Like I just have to buy more plates or heavier dumbbells. But hey, those things are freaking expensive, and there's other stuff I want to buy too. So. Yeah, I'm content with home workouts. Right now, I feel like I tell people everyone that I talk to about working out, I tell them this. Right now, I'm just like maintaining. I'm not losing or gaining anything. Maybe small differences I'm noticing, but like I think I'm just maintaining right now,
Mm,
which isn't a bad thing. But I know one day if I want to like see definition and bigger muscles, I'm gonna have to push myself more reps, more weight.
yeah.
But right now, I'm content with maintaining. I
Yeah.
do. I'm not like losing anything, and I always maintain the same exercises, and right now I'm content, I guess.
Yeah.
But if I get bored one day, I think I'm gonna have to rethink my whole strategy.
But I think maintaining is obviously better than not gaining anything or like not working out, right? So you're ahead of the
Yeah.
curve just by maintaining, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, what you just said about like having that prime time like celebrity gym at home. I mean, that's why we do this pod, right? Is to eventually get to a point where the millions are just rolling in, and we have this kind of equipment at our disposal. And like we've been talking about, like to get that body, you maybe do need to end up going to the gym and investing in what the gym offers, and you're seeing the examples of like, okay, I want to strive to be that. But at the gym you're also seeing examples of I don't want to be that, because you see the people wearing like with their nipples out like
Mm,
spaghetti tank tops, like their upper body's like a trapezoid, no
yeah.
legs, just roids for days. Like you definitely see some
Yeah.
65-year-old men that just like is an example of what you don't want to be, essentially, is what I'm getting at here.
That's true.
But yeah,
And
no,
you, yeah.
God,
And they probably live at the gym, right? They're probably there every day. And every time you go, they're there. And we've been to the gym. You see the same people over and over again, and like you see that a lot. Like guys and girls sacrificing their social life, or they're sacrificing a lot to maintain that body. It's very hard to
mm,
maintain. Like a six pack. I've never had a six pack in my life. I know they're hard to maintain. You hear about it
yeah,
all the time. You got to watch what you eat. You got to watch. Yeah, like I don't watch what I eat. I don't think I ever will. Like I'm not gonna like restrict. No desserts now. I have to have a beach bod. No,
yeah.
I like eating way too much for that.
It's like in The
But
Killer,
I've been
right? Like she
trying.
should have ordered the Haagen Dazs. You never know when you're gonna get killed. So,
Good
great
callback
movie.
to last episode. Yeah.
Um, but yeah. But also, like,
Yeah.
just for
So
those people, like the gym is their social life as well, right? Like that's kind of the culture they're ingrained in. The
yeah,
people
is
go to the
that
gym all
healthy
the time.
though? I
Like
don't know.
that's their social life. A lot of them, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know if that's healthy either, right? I don't think someone should be living at the gym like there every night. I don't know. I think like it's also hard. Like we're both living with our partner. Like you're not if you're going to the gym all the time, you're sacrificing maybe a date night, a movie night, going to the theater. I want a variety in my life. I don't want to go to the gym all the time. Which is why the home gym is working out perfectly right
Yeah.
now. Convenience, in and out. I'm not gone for 2 hours. Like if I were to drive to Stittsville at the nearest Fit for Less or Good Life, I'm gone like an hour and a half easy.
Hmm.
No, more than that, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, and my car would suffer too. It already suffers driving to work every day.
That extra
Um,
mileage
but
is no
yeah,
joke.
yeah, but yeah. Do you do okay? Now, what I want to know, because we haven't really quizzed each other about this, but like, are you like legs, arms, and like not what's the word?
Core?
I want to say core.
Core,
Thank
yeah.
you, core, legs, and arms guy, or do you like I don't do any core. I just do legs and arms. Arms meaning like shoulders,
Yeah.
chest, arms, triceps. Do
Strictly,
you do all? Do you do
strictly
everything?
arms, dismiss legs and core completely. Who needs them? No, I'm 100. I'm just kidding. I do honestly in every single, in every single workout, like you, I do 6 exercises every workout, and I try to have. It's never a clean split of like 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 core, but I do like to have one exercise at least of each of those three. So it might end up being 3 arms, 2 legs, 1 core,
Okay.
or it could be sometimes it's even 3 arms, 3 legs, and no core. But for the most part, I like to have at least one core exercise, if not two. And sometimes it actually is a 2-2-2 split, but there's no real symmetry or consistency with how they're distributed. But no, every single workout has to have a bit of each. Sometimes I will do that. I'm not joking here. I will do like a if I don't work out every day. Also, first of all, like
Mhm.
if I work out, I'll take the next day off most likely, and then try to get back at it the next day. So every 2 days, if I'm being consistent, which is
That's good.
not often the case. So if I am in that groove and I'm just feeling good about working out, on the off day, I might do just like an arm blast where I do 3 exercises arms like real quick, like some curls with a barbell, some flies, like I said, and like a tricep overhead extension. Just run that 3 times. It takes like 10 minutes maybe. And maybe the weights might not even be crazy, but it's just a little something to do on the off
Yeah.
day. And I feel like I would do that often just watching the Sens if they're playing at like
Nice.
7:30 or whatever, which is not a usual workout time for me. It's like, yeah, let's do a little something else extra while I'm watching the game. So that'd be another maybe tip of like you're bored, maybe you don't want to do a full workout. Well, that's better than not doing anything, right? Just sitting on the couch. So how about
That's a
you?
fantastic. That's a fantastic tip, actually. Doing something else while doing the workout. Like if I had a TV in my garage, I'd be doing the same
Yeah.
thing. Possible. No, giving me ideas here. I'm the complete opposite, Eric. I will work out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday is strictly just legs,
Okay.
and then the other days is a rotation. Like one day I do arms and triceps, I do biceps and triceps together, and then I do a rotation like that. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Hearing you talk about, and I don't do core. I should actually, because I'm definitely getting a stomach.
So you get the six
But I
pack.
used to, I used to do core too, and then one day I'm just like, no, it's taking too much, too long. So I chopped it, but boy, do I regret it. But yeah, no, I don't. Maybe I should. The problem is like when I do legs, I like if I only do 2 leg exercises, I'm just afraid it wouldn't be enough. Like when I do legs, I only do 5 leg exercises, not 6, because like legs is like their squats are pretty intense.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I feel like more of my legs.
100%.
Um, but that's my favorite day actually. I like when my legs are burning. Yeah, and I like try to like do. Now I'm rethinking my strategy
No,
because your strategy, I bet you're feeling it all throughout your body every time.
but at the
Anyways,
same
I'll have to
time
try
though,
that out.
it like kind of lessens how much you feel it the next day because when you're just working
True.
out targeted muscle groups, you feel it more the next day because they're the ones who are getting all the action out of those six
Yeah.
exercises rather than kind of watered down in that you're still working all those muscle groups still. It's just not as intense for those muscles. Another strategy we would do is, like I said, it's 6 exercises broken down into 2 sets of 3 different exercises. And sometimes
Yeah.
it would be like the first 3 are all legs, and then the next 3 are
Mm.
all arms. Then you feel it a lot. And I guess it kind of is
Yeah.
similar to how you work out, where like it's really just those muscle groups. So like as you're
Yeah.
going through the reps, it's getting harder and harder because like they're getting the brunt of it all throughout the whole workout. That way you feel it more, but legs in general, like doing 2, 3 leg exercises in a row, like you feel it after.
Oh
It's,
yeah.
it's so rough.
100%. And are you a super quick downtime in between sets? Like, are you like, okay, we're not wasting any time, like maybe a 20-second break, or are you more like a minute in between? Like, are you doing almost like a circuit where you jump from one exercise to another and then like go, go, go? Or what's your approach to that, Eric?
So, like with them, that same breakdown I just gave, there are 2 sets of 3 exercises. It's a superset, so no breaks unless we're
Oh,
like
wow.
gassed. And then in between sets of exercises, grab some water, maybe chill for a bit. But at that, like it's not that long at all. Just try to keep it pushing, get through the workout as quickly as possible, but still doing the
Yeah.
exercises properly there, obviously. But no, there's not
Yeah.
not much downtime, honestly, unless we're like burnt,
That's good.
which just
That's
happened.
what I try to do too. Yeah. That's what I try to do too. Just I feel the burn more.
Yeah.
And I find like if you get distracted and wait too long, then you just defeated the whole purpose. It is
Yeah.
easier if you wait in between
100%.
reps, but like then you're not helping yourself. So yeah, good call, Eric. I like doing 2 in a row. I don't do that, but maybe I should try do like a superset. I don't do any of those. But you know what? I like that. I see that a lot too, like on every like the Instagram pages I follow, the bodybuild, like not the bodybuilding, but like bit of workout stuff. They
Yeah.
do supersets, and like The Rock does that, and
Mm.
I don't know. Something to think about. You know, there's so much out there. Like you can just find images on Google, like charts of like workouts with just dumbbells, workouts with no dumbbells,
Yeah,
and all for every
exactly.
single body part. They freaking exist. They're all out there, and I limit myself to the ones that everybody know. But you
Yeah.
know what? They're good exercises for a reason, right?
Big
So
time. Mixing in like a high intensity interval training. I don't know if that's what it all stands for there, but a HIIT workout that
Yeah,
works too. Like
hits,
that's a
yeah.
solid like 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. There's a couple of videos that we've done multiple times there, and they're really tough. And like that's some good cardio as well. Where cardio is really tough at home, right? Because we don't have the machines like the Stairmaster, the treadmill, the bike, all those classics. You don't really have those. But just doing those like 40 seconds on, you're catching your breath, and the 40 seconds takes so long to get through. Those 20 seconds fly by. It's insane. It's like, because we're just watching the video to follow along, and it's like next thing you know, it's 3 seconds you're back into the exercise. Like, my God, like you can't even catch your breath, and then the 40 seconds you're hanging on for dear life the whole time. It's nuts. But those are good exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to
the relativity of time, right?
big time? Do you want to move on to some gym stuff, like in the gym? Because we got a lot of like just hits, yeah, tips and kind of do's and don'ts in the gym from the people, and we can kind of comment on them as well.
Sure.
So yeah, that was the question posed on Instagram was, what are some gym etiquette tips that should be followed? The first one is from the homie, former guest, Mart Chevalier. He said, don't slam the weights on the ground. Also, I don't want to see your nipples. So I kind of touched on that earlier. But the slamming the weights on the ground, 100%
So
agreed. That's just people who want attention. Like, they're yelling, they're grunting too, and they're doing that. Like, oh, just belching out gasps to get people to look at the, oh my God, that guy or that girl just like benched that much, like did curls with like 75s or whatever. It's like, you're not impressing anybody, you're just annoying us all here. What is your take on that? And feel free to go on the nipples take as well.
Oh, I'm definitely going to I'm going to address both. The slamming is very annoying. I don't know how many times I was like, just like jumped, like I have my music at the gym, but like I'm like startled, like holy shit, the guy just slammed down. Like if you're doing a deadlift of like you're going for a PR deadlift and it makes a little bit of noise, okay, I'm a little more lenient for a deadlift, but like slamming dumbbells down or like other stuff is ridiculous. And the nipples, those tank tops that just like the muscle shirts that like come so like they're just like a line in front of your body, like a Borat bathing suit or something. Anyways. That's like literally a flex. Like, oh, look at my body and showing off for the ladies. But you're not at the gym to pick up girls, okay? That's not the right environment. Yeah. And yes, do the women wear skimpy stuff too? Sure, but like, anyways, there's a lot to say for both guys and girls, like wearing skimpy stuff. It's all about. Let's be honest. At the gym, half the people are there to show off. We all want to look good. We all want a beach body. It's a big showing off contest.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be showing any nipple. That's too much. That's over the edge. You can show your arms, your legs, but like, yeah.
I feel like the guy wearing the tank top you just described is kind of who I was talking about earlier, where it's like this old guy, 60 years old, roided up, 100%, just huge upper body, spray tan, and just like... this disgusting skull tattoo with a snake coming out of it. Probably a mom tattoo too. Just like the word mom and heart with the arrow going through. It's just not a good look. I don't know why that tank top has even ever been manufactured. But yeah, anyways, not a good look. But yeah, the dumbbell slamming, like that could bounce and like hit somebody, right? Imagine like, then are you liable for that? So it's just no fun for anybody. It scares people. Just don't do it. It's a great one.
Yeah.
The next one is from the homie Justin Mochtinger. So he said, no standing / crowding over equipment if you aren't using it.
Oh, that's a great one. That was one of mine, actually. I wrote that down. I can't stand that. It's when they're crowding the equipment, but whilst being on their phone. I can't stand that, Eric. Like, but like let's be real, like, most of the time when we go to the gym, it's busy. Like, it needs to be a steady rotation of people like moving in and out of the machine so there can be other people using it.
Yes.
Or just standing in front of the dumbbells, like just doing nothing. And it's like, buddy, I need to reach over and grab this. Like, I hate that. And it's a little awkward too. Everyone has their earbuds in saying like, oh, excuse me.
Yep.
And they can't really hear what you're saying. Or They don't know. Like I don't know about you, Eric, but like sometimes like approaching a big gym guy, you don't know what kind of reaction you're gonna get. Is he
Oh,
gonna roid out on you? Is he gonna be super
exactly.
polite?
It
No, like you have no idea, right?
it's
It
always
could be the
uncomfortable.
nicest guy.
Even though like it shouldn't
Yes.
be, you should just be allowed to be like, listen, like I need the 35s that
Yeah.
you're standing in front of just in the way. But you always feel that like I'll just wait 15 seconds. Maybe you'll move, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. I feel like we've talked about other situations like that that shouldn't be uncomfortable, like price matching at a grocery store. You feel uncomfortable doing it,
Yeah,
but like you
that's
got to
right.
do what you got to do, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and also along like what you said, being on your phone. Like if you're on a machine or on a bench, you know like, benches are prime time currency over
Yeah.
there. There aren't that many of them, especially the ones that like either recline if you want to do like some incline stuff.
Yeah.
Those ones like or just in general, you can't be on your phone like messing around when you know people want what you're on. Just get on your phone when you're off the machine, kind of thing. If you're just standing around wherever else. Yes. And then he also said, kind of along the same lines of what we're talking about here, or like when you leave your stuff somewhere to claim or reserve something
Mm.
and then go work out somewhere else. Unacceptable. You can't have like your 25s at a bench and then you're on like the leg press machine just doing leg presses while
Yeah.
you're also claiming another machine. Like that you absolutely cannot stake a claim to more than one machine at a time, in my opinion.
Yeah, actually wrote that down. Don't hog two machines. And I've seen that when I used to on Walkley Road go to the Fit for Less, the people that go there, they're the younger crowd, the hip crowd. It's always a busy gym. I saw a lot of that of like awkward encounter. Like it's funny for me because I'm just watching this like in a mirror or something happening behind me. But like the awkwardness of like the guy going up like, oh no, like I'm actually using this. That's my phone. That's my water. And then the guy going like, well, like pointing like, no, I saw you over there. And then the
Yeah.
guy going like, no, I'm doing like a quick circuit. I'll be done soon. But it's so awkward to watch. You kind of start laughing or get secondhand cringe or secondhand embarrassment. But anyways. Yeah, no, that's a big no. It's like do one at a time. I'm sorry, but because the gym's so busy and people are waiting, you can't do a circuit. You can't do 2, 3 machines. It's just not doable. You can do that at home, but you can't do that at the gym. I'm sorry, unless there's no one in the gym, it's like dead. Then go for it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one by Justin.
Or another
Good.
way to go about the circuit is if you're with two friends where you're all doing the rotation together, where at each,
Yeah,
there's never a moment where a machine is unaccounted for because the homies are all partaking in the circuit. I think that could
that's
work.
right. Yeah, like if there's no body at that machine, it's fair game. I don't care if there's a phone, a wallet, a towel. There's no one there. It's fair game. So
Well, I mean,
yeah,
okay, but in saying that, if you saw a phone in front of a bench, you're not approaching it. You're like, there's someone who's gonna
no,
roll up here,
exactly,
which is scummy because
exactly.
why is your phone there, one of your most valuable possessions in 2024, and you're not
Yeah,
there? You know, like
yeah,
then if it gets
yeah.
snatched up, I don't really feel bad for you. You should not leave your
No.
stuff like people who leave their keys and wallet out.
Oh,
It you wouldn't necessarily think people would go and steal or just snatch someone's stuff, but you never know. Like I would not feel
yeah.
comfortable leaving my things, or if I did like to go fill up my water bottle, I'm like filling up my water and looking at the bench the whole time, maybe
I've done
spilling,
that.
like
Yeah.
overflowing above, and just water goes on the floor. But I ain't keeping my eyes off my belongings, you know. So
That's good, Eric. I like that. No, I'm with you on that. I have done the like wallet, my phone on my wallet with my water bottle beside me at all times because I used to walk to the gym and I like now I would have left it in my car back in the day but yeah. Anyways, no, you have to like watch it like it's your life. Like my phone, I can't lose my phone. I'd rather lose my wallet than my phone at this point. I can replace all those
yeah,
cards, but if I don't have a phone, how am I gonna call the bank? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Straight
I don't
pay
even know the
phone.
numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah,
no, thanks,
but
Justin.
no, gee, yeah.
So Andy had a couple. She said unsolicited advice and
Oh,
not washing machines. So two
those are great.
two unacceptable ones in my books. Like I don't. First of all, I don't really like talking to people at the gym, just like they're strangers, right? Advice from a
Yeah,
friend is maybe a bit better. But even at that, like if they're just telling you, maybe like fix up, like you could do this, like to get more out of the exercise kind of thing. But a total stranger telling me this is the last thing I want to hear. I'm like, all right, man, like why are you watching me work out first of all? And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
kind of like
Yeah.
at golf, like when people are always giving you like advice on what to do all the time. It's very annoying. If you're struggling out there, just trying to have a good time and it's not going well, you're already feeling self-conscious. Then someone else like, hey, I've noticed you're not playing that well, but maybe this will help you out. Like maybe the intentions are good, but don't give me advice.
I've seen it many times. Well, first of all, the washing the machine, like that's like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's a must. You have to like that's just cleanliness right now. And I feel like because of COVID, a lot of people are more conscious about that. Like they know what to do. But like for Andy, like if you're a girl and a guy approaches you and is giving you advice, that's just plain old like, okay, were you like watching me work out and
Yeah.
you saw my form was bad? Like that's borderline creepy.
Big time.
I don't think I've ever had that happen to me, Eric. Someone random person approaching me, but like as a girl, like if she gets approached and it's like, what were you like watching to see if I was gonna screw up or something? That's
Yeah.
weird. You don't talk to any strangers in the gym. You can, but you go about it like, hey, like you've seen that person week after week, then
Yeah.
you give like the nod and then the hey. Like you start seeing the same people and you start getting friendly, but like,
Yeah.
no, you're not telling someone what to do. First of all, the people that are telling people what to do, they think they know everything, right?
Yeah.
They're the gym bros. Would you even want that like advice, even if it's good advice? Like, would you want someone to tell you that? Not really, right?
No,
Like,
so
leave me
that's what
alone.
I'm saying. You go in
Yeah.
this script, you got the progression of nod to hey to your form sucks, let me help you out. No thanks. Like let's just cap off at hey.
I like that.
But on the
Yeah,
washing machines, so
that's
I
funny.
haven't actually been to the gym since COVID. So maybe it's gone better. I'm sure it has, honestly. I feel like they maybe rule with more of an iron fist or an iron claw on that front. But back in the day, man, like you would constantly see just sweaty backs of like a fly machine.
Yeah,
Disgusting. And like then you have to wipe it down. You're triple
yeah.
layering your your paper towels there. So no, that's not okay, honestly. I would always make sure to wipe down. Well, sometimes before, but always after. Like you always clean up after yourself there. That's a
Yeah.
no-brainer, and not doing that is just disrespectful to every single person in the establishment, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a before. I just do it after because I'm so like I have faith in humanity that they've done it after them, so like I don't have to do it before. But like
Yeah,
I'm not super germophobic either. But yeah, I don't want if I see any like shininess to like the where I'm gonna be putting my butt or back. Like I don't want to be sitting in any sweat or feeling any sweat on my back. So yeah,
yeah,
triple layer paper towels the way to go.
yeah,
What do you think
100%.
of the mats would like? The mattress section for doing core
Mm,
exercise at the gym. Like I've seen people like douse that thing in like washer and like wipe that down. Like that to me, the mat, if you're not sweating, I don't know, not always obligatory to wipe down, but that's just my opinion. That might be
No, no,
controversial.
honestly, I don't think that's something I've ever done is wipe down the mat. I don't know if that's ever even crossed my mind. And I feel like
Yeah,
it's maybe more unlikely that you sweat from those exercises on the mat. Whereas, like, if you got your
yeah,
back pressed up to like a machine or whatever, I feel like that's more where like the sweat residue is gonna latch on. That's a good
for
point, though.
sure.
I
Yeah,
don't think that's controversial, honestly. I can't even recall ever seeing someone wipe down the mats. But maybe
yeah.
nowadays it's mandatory. I don't know.
Or like the handles and the treadmills and
Yes.
the elliptical. Like I do wipe down the handles, but like I've seen people wipe down the whole freaking machine, and I'm like, are you like detailing this
Yeah.
elliptical, sir? Like I don't know. There's
Is it Howie
that's just
Mandel doing this wipe down? I don't know.
he would never go to the gym, and he'd have his own freaking private gym
Yeah,
with
that's true.
equipment that's never been touched by humanity. Yeah, yeah. No,
So,
that's a good one though by Andy.
yeah, great ones, Andy. Thank you.
Good submission.
So I got a couple from my mom as well. I think we've touched on a few of them. Like wipe down your equipment was one of them. She said no grunting, which I agree. We kind of went. Like I brought that up with the throwing of the weights down. No grunting, definitely annoying. I don't want to hear you moan at the gym like some guy just like yelling and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's kind of like this is kind of a nasty, like nasty
Yeah.
comparison I'm about to make. So maybe if you got a weak stomach, fast forward. But I thought of this the other day. At work, just like, you go to the washroom and in the urinals and like anyways, just hear like
Sorry. I know where this is going, I think.
it's okay. It's like maybe this is out of left field me making this comparison, but just people like in the stalls just dropping a dump at work and like letting out moans is completely like,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Tone it down, reel it in. Like I know it's obviously uncomfortable to be pooing in public, but like we don't need these sound effects in there, people. So just gonna throw that in there too. I feel like this is a 1-to-1 comparison. No one wants to hear
Yeah.
your moans when you're on the bench
True.
press. So I know we kind of got off track there, but I feel like it had to be said. We'd be doing a disservice not saying that.
What's funny is I know exactly what you mean. You're not in the comfort of your own home.
Right?
Like you don't have to do that. You're just too relaxed, I guess.
How
the moans
can
at
you
the
be
gym-
too? I don't
yeah,
understand that.
Yeah. But when I was at Fit for Less on Walkley, there was a lot of grunts, actually, way more than when I used to work out in Orleans, because you had more like the cocky gym bros, a lot of minorities too, and they love to work out. Like they're freaking built. A lot of Arabs. Like I felt like super non-Arab when I went to this gym. But even though I'm half Lebanese, I was like, holy shit! Like this is the Lebanese community of Ottawa here, and they're freaking jacked. But you know what? They grunt a lot too, and I feel like they don't give a shit, And they're super friendly, and they can offer advice, and they're always there. But like, they're grunting, Eric, and it's freaking. It's more awkward than annoying. Like at the end of the day, I have my music, and I might not even hear you all that well, but like it's just awkward, especially if you're a girl. Like I can't. I know girls must feel more uncomfortable when they're, it must be weird for them. I don't want to speak for them though, but definitely no grunts.
For
awkward.
Sure. I mean, it's like you said, it's awkward, and I think a lot of people who grunt want again. A lot of it comes back to wanting attention. A lot of people at the gym just do want people to look at them and stuff. So I don't think you'll find someone who doesn't want attention grunting. I think that's a fair statement and association to make.
Yeah, you'll breathe heavier, but you won't grunt. You can breathe heavier and not give a grunt. Like, anyways, I'm not gonna do it on the mic, but like, you know what I mean.
100%. So, like I said, my mom had a couple more. So one, this kind of has been rolled into what we talked about earlier. Don't talk on your phone. So we kind of went over the don't be on your phone kind of thing. I agree. Someone having a full-on conversation, like a phone call in the gym, is super annoying. Just in general, in public. Like I was on the train today and yesterday, and like hearing people like call people and talk for like 15, 30 minutes is the worst. At the gym, I mean, I guess train and public transport could be worse because you have nowhere to go. Or at the gym, you can kind of move around and get away from it. But just very obnoxious, and like they're typically going to be very loud, again yelling like, oh yeah bro, like I've just did a max set on the dumbbell personal best, like PR, fun 50, whatever, like just talking about whatever. Like I don't want to hear this. I agree.
The thing that makes it is more annoying on a public transport, like an OC transport, because you can't escape it. But what's annoying I wrote that down too on my list, because you're taking up prime real estate. You're either on one of those coveted like benches that there's only like 4 or 5 of them and like 30 people want to use them, or you're on a machine and someone's waiting for it. You might not even know someone's waiting for it, but someone's eyeing you from far and waiting to hop on that, leg machine or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. You're wasting time. Unless you're standing near like the washrooms or near the locker area on your phone, I can accept that way more. I don't even care if you're on the phone at that point. You shouldn't even be on your phone anyways to begin with. Because people might think you're taking pictures and videos. That's another thing. The culture has changed with TikTok and Instagram. People are taking videos and pictures, and it's more acceptable in gyms.
Yeah.
But like, you really shouldn't be taking your phone out at all. I take it out, like change my music and stuff, but like it shouldn't really be out at all. And you're hogging a machine or a space if you're talking on the phone. That's why I hate it.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, you said it all, and that kind of rolls into my mom's next point, which was, like, we talked about this, or like, people who stay on the machines and scroll while they're on your phone, get off and let someone else use it. Respect people's time, all kind of fits in there. The next one's no perfume, which I agree. Like, I mean, strong odors nowadays, I feel like is more sensitive with people, and like at the gym would be interesting. I don't know, because I guess when you're sweating, it kind of offsets the perfume, so people maybe want to prevent the shorten the amount of time that it takes, or lengthen the amount of time that it takes for them to smell bad, I guess, kind of. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, would you rather smell BO or the Axe body spray?
Yeah. I'll take
Neither,
the
really,
Ralph
but, like,
Lauren cologne all day.
I smell, when we smell BO, like we used to smell BO at the gym. I smell BO all the time. I'm not even that upset, because I'm like, frig, the guy's here to work out and sweat, and maybe he's a heavy sweater and he's smelly, whatever. I can accept BO, because I'm like, hey, we're all freaking here to, like, at the gym, or you're on the treadmill right now sweating your ass off. That's fine. I find it a little weird if you are putting perfume at the gym, because it's like, aren't you going to shower right after? Yeah. I don't know. They're masking their BO, obviously. Like, I think her point is people are putting on way too much perfume to mask their BO, and then the perfume is super strong and gross. So I see that point too.
Maybe it also rolls into the next point, which was, it's a gym, not a bar focus. So maybe the culture of wanting to not only look good but smell good, and then that also helps your chances to pick up someone, a girl, a guy. Yeah. It plays into that as well. I don't know. Like you said, though, I feel like if you're a guy trying to pick up a girl, or vice versa, it's kind of I don't know. A gym is not really the place for that, in my opinion. Like, people don't necessarily want that going there. Like, especially girls, I feel like they feel like there's a lot of attention on them right away when they go to the gym. So like, they kind of just want to go there, get in, get out, do their workouts. I mean, I think people in general, maybe a lot of people go to the gym, do want attention, want to be looked at and maybe talked to, but I feel like overall that's not what people want at the gym.
No. I'd say maybe 10 or 20% of people want attention there, but the rest are just there to do their workout.
Yeah.
And I try not to, like, you don't want to make any, you go in, you don't stare at anyone, you're focused, you in and out, you do your thing. You're not there to freaking socialize. And, you've seen the people that were there before you, and they're still there after you when you leave, and you're like, frig, are they spending like 2-3 hours here? Half the time probably just talking and socializing.
100%.
And they're friends with everyone, they're like saying hi to the people coming in.
Yeah.
We've all seen those people.
Oh, yeah.
They're the same people. This is just quickly one of my, like, pet peeves, but, like, guys that are really pushy, like, I've experienced it a couple times where, like, they'll approach him, like, are you going to be done with the bench press? Like, tell me more. Do you want to work with me? Like, when you're done, I do my reps, and then, like, I don't know how you, like, rotate with them basically on this machine. I always say no. I'm like, no, I'm going to be done very fast. And then, frig, now I have to go super fast to finish my set because I feel super pushed. But, like, that's happened a lot, especially when the gym is busy. Pushiness, like, are you using this bench? Like, I feel like if I'm in between reps, I'm like, okay, like, if I take too long, people are going to think I'm just slacking off, so I got to hurry up.
Yeah.
That happens a lot at, like, the 4 or 5 p.m., like, prime time, where people, like, those benches are coveted. Like, you got to run to, like, get one right away. I don't know. No. You have to be, like, as soon as someone leaves one, you got to, like, throw your shirt on it or something, or your gym bottle.
No, couldn't agree more. That's the worst. So I'm like, yo, bro, do you mind if we just alternate between sets? Like, also, like, to your point of, like, you feel rushed, if the situation was reversed, would that person rush for you Absolutely not. These people
Yeah,
do
sure.
not care. They'll take even more time. They'll be, you know what? I'll do a fourth set. Like we're too nice. I feel like also maybe I'm not giving benefit
Yeah,
of the doubt to enough people out there, but I feel like by and large people just are kind of selfish, and that kind of proves the
yeah,
point of like if they weren't, they would let us do our exercise on that bench that, like you said, is so coveted. Let us enjoy
yeah,
this stress free.
yeah,
And hey, even if we are taking a 30 seconds in between sets to do the exercise, it's our given right to do so. But no, 100% agree with everything you said. That was the worst, especially if you like just start and then it's like you could be like, yeah, I guess since I just started, I could just you hop in,
yeah,
and then it's the worst if it's like a just leg press, for example, or something where you're putting like squats, let's say, where you're not doing
yeah,
the same weight, same
yeah,
weights where you always have to reload and unload in between each set. It's like that adds even more time. It's just now it's taking more time for you to get through your exercise and cutting into maybe you wanted to do two, three more exercises. Like, okay, well now it's getting near the time that I have to leave. I can only do one more exercise because I've had to alternate with this clown who just cut into my
yeah,
time to do my squats. So no,
yeah.
that's all time like pushiness, not respecting people's, like I said, right to have a machine is the worst. And yeah,
Yeah,
if,
like I had a guy
yeah,
cutting into someone's bench press. You know they're gonna add more, take some off. Like it's so it's you're just wasting your time. And
yeah,
but I like there's a lot of alphas at the gym. Like mostly most people, most of those gym bros are dominating personalities. You know they're
yeah,
alphas and they're not afraid to like they're not shy at all and they're gonna butt in or like
yeah,
a lot of random people too ask like, oh, do you mind spotting me? That's a little different. I don't mind helping people out, but like it's very like I feel a certain amount of pressure actually someone asking me to spot them, you know, they're like way stronger than me. I'm like, you sure you're gonna like even accomplish anything
yeah,
in here? Like you're probably
exactly.
good by yourself.
I feel like if you're asking someone to spot you, you kind of have to be sure that you're going to be able to do it because, especially if you're
Yeah.
asking like someone like me, for example, I'm not an imposing figure by any means. Like you can't count on me to lift this like 225 barbell that you're benching. You know, if you can't pull this off on your own, maybe level down and take
Don't
off a
do it.
rack on each side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
plate. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, but I agree with you. Like, it's not the worst thing. If someone asks me to spot them, it's no big deal. But
Hmm.
I don't want to. Like, I don't want to. I'm not walking around like, hey, anybody need a spot? Like, I can help you out. I got you. I got you. Like, no, no, no. I'm there for myself. Again, like I said, I don't want to talk to these strangers, these yahoos. But I feel like that's not that bad to ask for a spot. It's the cutting in, the are you almost done here? Figure it out. Like when I'm done my
Yeah.
next set, you'll see if I'm done or not. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's a great
Yeah.
one, Matt. So the last one we
It is.
got was from Kilson Wood, also former guest. She said, I think we kind of touched on this, but still want to shout out, be reasonable with the time you spend at one station when they're limited. So we've touched on this before there, but it's very, very relevant.
But that should be like that's number one. Like that's the first thing I thought of because we don't want to spend a whole day at the gym. We want to be in and out, get everything done. Let's say there's only one bench press machine. You know, you're not there. You can't be there like 10, 15 minutes. It's just ridiculous. But I've seen it so many times. Guys on their phone in between, you know, they're lifting maybe the 200-pound barbell like three times and then like back on the phone. But no,
Mm-hmm.
don't bother them because they have freaking yeah. Anyways, it's frustrating. But honestly, like those are just the minor things. Honestly, gym culture is it's pretty sweet going to the gym. Like it's its own little earth or world or ecosystem. Everybody has an understanding, you know.
Yeah.
It's very quiet. Everyone has their music. There's like a little it's cool, you know. You can people watch at the gym and like I don't know. It motivates you. You just want to do better.
You're right.
I
We've
like
kind
it.
of,
I
I
miss
think
it.
we went through a cycle of, in this episode, talking about how like the gym has so many advantages and like it's where you go to kind of push yourself because you have a lot more access and stuff. And then we really got into a rut of just ripping into stuff that happens at the gym. But now like good call and like bringing it back on. The gym is actually a great place where it's a hub for everyone who wants to improve themselves. Like you're not going to the gym to make yourself a worse version of yourself. You're going there to improve in one way or another for a
Yeah.
different reason. Maybe it's like to be better at a sport or it's just like how you want to look in general. Like you want to look good, feel good, all of that. So overall, the gym is a great place and honestly maybe somewhere that eventually I look to get back into to really get like level up in the fitness journey because yeah, it adds time. It's more money invested in taking on this hobby, but overall, it's overwhelmingly positive where you're escaping from whatever stresses in life to like unload stress and work on yourself. A great place to be overall, and you know that when you leave there, you feel good about yourself as well. So overall, like you gotta love the gym overall. And like yeah, you get hyped, listen to music. Like what are some of your go-tos like quickly like music that you bump in the gym? Do you have any examples of artists or albums or songs that really like get you going? Last set, like you gotta buckle down. What do you got?
I'll say what I've been doing recently. Maybe this is like what in the garage, but like, and I've never done this at the gym, only at home. But I've really gone into like heavy metal, specifically Metallica, their earlier albums, which is more heavier.
Nice.
The heavy, it's freaking amazing. It really gets you like, and it's loud. Like I put it loud. It really pumps you up. But honestly, back at when I was at the gym, it was always rap,
Yeah.
but like nothing mellow. Nothing mellow. It has to be like bombastic and like fast beats one after another, and that's where your playlist came in handy, Eric.
Yep.
I'm not saying all the songs were super aggressive like that, but like a lot of them were good gym songs. Nothing slow paced, nothing slow. That's why heavy metal right now is perfect for me. Like when I say I listen to podcasts, sometimes it's hard listening to a podcast because I kind of like my mind drifts and I should be working out instead of like keep on listening. So definitely heavy metal and some like hardcore rap music
Nice.
is my go-to. And yes, the feeling when you leave a gym, freaking amazing. I was all those few hours after the gym, always on a high, on a cloud. You know, you can have a snack or get a drink or something. Like drinking that water bottle after, awesome. I love that feeling. It's a great feeling. The pump. Oh,
Yes. No, you definitely feel like
yeah.
validated in like either getting an extra large blizzard at Dairy Queen, splitting a 6 pack of 40s. It's just a good reward at the end of that. No, good stuff.
Yeah.
Heavy metal, yeah, that might be a good one to mix in there. Like also some variety for me. Like I'm known as a rap guy almost exclusively, but I've been known to dabble in other genres. Heavy metal, not so much, but I do mess with a lot of Metallica for sure, like songs here and there, but haven't really done a deep dive in their music. But no, it's a good call. Podcasts I've listened to often when I work out, but you're right, like it is distracting because you're kind of trying to listen to what they're saying, especially
Yeah.
if it's like a funny pod. Then you're starting to laugh and you're not really being pushed because you're like, like you immediately you don't have the same focus on your muscles when you're laughing because now your mind's like just processing what was said that was funny. Like you arms are
Yeah.
flailing a little bit. So wouldn't recommend if you're trying to do max bench press rep, listen to a comedy podcast, but no, good stuff. I'll say quickly, good recommendation for a workout, especially if you want to get into some 2024 rap albums. Everybody Can't Go, Benny the Butcher.
Ah,
Great
yeah.
workout tunes. Like most of the songs on that album are bangers, I would say. Like Hit Boy's
Oh, yeah.
beats just hit
Yeah.
with like the heavy drums, snare, kicks. A lot of good stuff like Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Dog fires me up. That's Alchemist production, but still, like, there's a lot of good stuff on there. How to Rap. Anyways, great album.
Yeah.
So,
I do it. Yeah, I listened to it this morning during my workout. Actually, I
Nice.
love that. I was going to talk about it later,
nice.
but yeah, fantastic album.
I mean, I feel like we did a good job at giving a rundown of the gym. We have not done, like, random recommendations in quite a few episodes. Do you want to talk about some movies, albums, whatever, in, like, the next segment, Matt?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was gonna talk about Benny the Butcher's album, but you already did. Like that's the album everybody should listen to.
Yes.
I want to talk about your number one movie of last episode because I saw it at the theater last week.
Nice theater.
Godzilla -1. Okay, so you brought this up on the podcast. You said you have to go see it at. There's like a window Sunday at lunchtime where my girlfriend's gone. There's nothing that I got going on. Text my mom, let's go see it in IMAX in Canada. Godzilla -1. She's like, really? You want to see that? I'm like, yes, I do. Look at the ratings. It's supposed to be amazing. So I'm going in with super high expectations. Like, it's your number one. Everyone's loved it. People have been putting it on their top horror list because technically Godzilla, creature movie, you know, it's a monster movie, kaiju movie, technically a horror film. But anyways, it's been getting a lot of praise on the podcast I listen to. One of the podcasters I love, he had it on his number one for horror of the year. And I'm like, holy shit, this must just be a great movie. I watched the movie. This movie has no business being this good in terms of like, it's a Godzilla movie, but it's just a fucking good movie in general. I didn't even need Godzilla in this movie. I was just so into the story, Koichi's story.
Yep.
The main character's story, that when Godzilla showed up, I'm like, oh yeah, Godzilla's in this movie. I would have watched a fucking movie on this guy's life and like what he's gone through and like him coming back to his home and everything's in rubble and destroyed and his parents are gone. I was like, holy fuck. Like I could have watched the movie him starting there and getting a job and all that. But they fast forward through all that so you can get to the good Godzilla stuff. But oh my God, guys, is it ever a good movie? I would have gave it 5-star, but I probably will. I only give 5-star if I've seen it more than once. But like, it's a 5-star movie. It's amazing. I'm glad you had it as your number one, Eric. Okay, so in the theater, this is one of those times where like didn't think of anything else but the movie. It could have been a war going on outside, but I was just so focused on this movie, Eric. Like the sound. I'm in the loudest theater I can be in. Mm-hmm. The soundtrack was freaking amazing. Every time Godzilla showed up, I was like trembling in my seat, goosebumps. You know, I talk about that full escapism feeling that I always seek when I'm in a movie theater. Godzilla did this, and it hadn't happened in a long time. You know, I had that Infinity War Endgame feeling going on. It was amazing. This movie, Eric, was made for like less than $50 million.
Crazy.
The budget's $15 million, but I know the director said in an interview, like, I wish I had $50 million, kind of laughing. They were smart with their angles, you know, they didn't show Godzilla too much in full frame, like too many action shots. They picked their moments. It was executed beautifully. I thought the CGI was well done. Mm-hmm. Bone-chilling, like, moments, too, in the movie, like, the first heat ray, like when Godzilla launches his heat ray in the city, I was like, by the way, full spoilers, guys. Sorry about that. But insane, Eric. Like,
just want to jump in really quickly on that scene specifically.
You go ahead.
That was that moment was the 5-star stamp, no brainer. And I also, in my back of my mind, I'm like, as long as they bring it home at the end, I'm like, it's 5. That's where it's at right now. Let's see if they bring it home. That scene was insane. I was moving in my seat, like going up, like I was going nuts when that scene happened.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Same. I was beside my mom, so I was trying not to like show too much emotion. You know, I was trying to be very stoic, but like, and I know my mom like loved it too, and she was like probably bawling by the end of the movie. Honestly, I was just trying to keep it together. It was sad.
Oh yeah.
I didn't expect some of the things to happen at the end, but I'm glad they did. Just like the moral dilemmas in our main character, Koichi, like amazing. Like he thinks he's a big coward for not being a kamikaze pilot. Even the neighbor, first thing she says when he comes back is like, "What? You're alive? Like not many men your age coming back. Like what the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
He even admits it. Like he landed his plane purposefully, and there was nothing wrong with it. And they even made a point to show like that the bomb was still on the plane, like he hadn't even deployed his bomb. But like this movie was the perfect mix of, you said it last week or last episode, like perfect mix of showing Godzilla and having a good story. Yep. And honestly, the story was just as good as the Godzilla parts. Just when he gets the job to destroy the minefields in the ocean, like his crew on that little ship, they're all amazing, like relatable. We've seen characters like this before in American movies, but like anyways, the whole Japanese thing, I loved it, Eric. I so glad you saw it, recommended it, had it as your number one. That really pushed me to watch it. Um, Loved seeing the destruction too. Like Godzilla is ruthless, extremely savage, and like when it's just destroying the city, and that the sound, like those the first two chords of that, the music. Like I listened to the soundtrack
Same.
after to try to like recapture the movie, and I was like, yeah, it's those first two chords, and they're from the original movie. Actually, he kind of like spun the soundtrack and made it better or changed it up a little.
Like
Amazing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly.
So good. Oh man, every
So
time that
loud, too, in
music
the
came
theater.
on and like
Yeah.
he popped up on screen, I was just fired up and
Oh.
terrified at the same time. It was nuts.
Exactly. It was scary. He was scary in this movie.
Yep.
And I read like why it's called Godzilla minus one, which I didn't even know at first, but like it makes sense. Like Japan was at ground zero or at zero after the atomic bombs, and now it's like what, another thing now? This
Yeah.
Godzilla destroying us, so like we're set back minus one almost. Pretty cool. Yeah, and like you can take it as like Godzilla, the original, was made as like an allegory for like what's been done to Japan and like the atomic what's the word, PTSD that this country has suffered. And anyways, great movie, very sad, but like sad but happy in a good way at the end, like uplifting. Yeah, Eric, I was super satisfied. Like I was expecting a good movie, but you know when you're doing that, you're like, okay, what's it gonna be? But then as it was going, I was like, holy shit, this is surpassing my expectations.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I recommend everyone listening right now, you gotta watch this movie. It's not a typical Godzilla movie. It's nowhere near the American movie, like
No.
close to the American Godzilla movies. Not even close.
No.
And this movie's like just 2 hours long. Like it's not dragging or anything. There's always something going on. Anyways, I can talk about it more, but I won't. But I give my full like stamp of approval. Great movie, Godzilla minus one.
Well, fantastic rundown on it, Matt. First of all, I'm really happy to see that you liked the movie, love the movie, dare I say, and that it didn't disappoint, right? Because like you said, you went in with high expectations. It's so hard on this pod even to just recommend movies and not oversell based on how much you enjoyed a movie. And sometimes it has to do with like you went in with lower expectations, so you're surprised at how good it was, and then you're just recommending it being on this level, so then people are going expecting it to be that. So it's really tricky, and I'm glad it didn't disappoint for you. And kind of a similar vein for me, not to jump right away to your number one actually, which I'll get into, that I saw holdovers. Before I do that, just want to say Godzilla minus one. Now that you've lent me a couple of Criterion Collection movies, if ever this movie does come out in the Criterion Collection, I kind of want to buy it, to be honest. Just have it. I don't know if it will there, but I would love to rewatch this movie like on that kind of scale. I feel like it'd be cool to have and see like some bonus features and stuff. Yeah, amazing movie.
I could totally see it. Yeah,
I hope it
I could
happens.
totally see it on there. There's a Godzilla box set that has like 30 movies that's in the collection, so totally see it on there one day.
No, I don't know if I'm trying to drop like $500 on a 30 movie Godzilla set, but a one movie set thing I think I can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and similarly for me, like going into, I just went and saw your number one movie, Matt, The Holdovers, in theater last week, and I went into it with the same thing, like high expectations, ready to be impressed by this movie.
Yeah.
And the whole time, like I talked about it briefly in our last episode, they're like, now when I watch movies, it's kind of a bad thing where I'm thinking of like what I'm gonna rate a movie when it's not even done, so I don't even fully enjoy in the moment. I'm just thinking of what I'm gonna say about the movie afterwards. So I have to dial that back when I'm watching a movie. It's a curse of writing reviews now for these movies. But as the movie kept going, I was like, all right, this is really good. And it just kept getting better. I was more interested in the story, the characters. Paul Giamatti, amazing. I don't think he's going to win the Oscar for Best Actor. Kind of like Nez was saying, I still think they give it to Cillian Murphy. But he was unbelievable in this movie.
Yeah.
And I just loved his character. As like he starts off as this hard-ass teacher that everyone hates. He makes no efforts to kind of coddle the kids and relate to them or see from their points of view. And then as you go along, you see that he's much more similar to the kid who's staying at the school than he initially realized. They kind of bond, they share more about each other's personal lives, and they develop an actual friendship by the end of it. So kind of like Matt said, spoiler. But you kind of see it coming though. Like honestly, I wasn't shocked at where the movie kind of went. With the turns it took, definitely could not have predicted all the things that happened. But very satisfying movie to watch. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Like I was debating going 4.5, but I'm like, nah. I really, really enjoy this movie. It was very funny, and I also love like how it was shot. It was kind of like on film. It looked like, or really grainy film. And I feel like I've said this on the pod before, but like, I feel like you feel like you're watching a movie when you see it like that. Like it's not perfect. It doesn't look like it could be real life. It's like a bit off. Spin on reality. I like that when I see a movie and like it looks old school. Like I enjoy that. Kind of like watching the old Star Wars movies. I like that a lot on VHS.
Yeah.
So no, amazing movie. Strong recommend. I feel like it's maybe a new age Christmas classic that you throw on. Maybe not every year, but like every other year. Yeah, no, really, really good movie. It would have made my probably top 5. I don't know where. Like I would have bumped something down. Maybe Oppenheimer drops to 6. Who knows? But Holdovers 100% would have made my list had I seen it. It's just where only time will tell. But absolutely loved it. Great, great movie.
Oh, you said a lot of great things, Eric. I'm glad you loved it. I love the setting too. Setting it like there's no cell phones.
Yeah.
It looks like a 70s movie. That was brilliant. Great setting. Couple heartbreaking scenes too in the movie like that really made it like a 5-star movie. Where like when you find out about Paul, well his name's Paul in the movie, Paul Giamatti, Paul Hunnam, like the teacher, like you find out like, okay, he dropped out of college. This is why he's still working at the high school, and like Angus kind of like backs him up in the story. I love that scene.
Hilarious.
And when you find out that, like Angus's like his mom is like kind of like ditching him, and he has to stay. Like that's heartbreaking. That phone call. Like I didn't like his mom at all. She was like thinking more about herself. Anyways, scenes like that elevated this movie. And honestly, I don't even know Godzilla or Holdovers. One of those would be my number 1 still. But I honestly, I don't even know. Like Godzilla might bump it for number 1 for me if I had to redo my list. But like those 2 would be my 1 and 2 spots for sure. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nice.
So both great movies. Like we both had them as our number 1. So perfect. And I thought even like, just lastly, I didn't even know where this movie was going to go. Like, I thought the 4 kids were going to be there the whole time. Then they all dip out on the helicopter. Then they go to Boston. Angus and Paul go to Boston with Mary, and you don't know what's going on with that. Like, it always kept moving. And the ending was cool. Yeah, like, Paul's backing up, lying for Angus, and that was good.
Yeah, I love that.
And him drinking the whole movie. Like, he's bitter, you know? He's just, it's like an FU. Him quoting history stuff. Anyways, fantastic movie.
I had a good theater too. Like people were laughing a lot, so it was a good. I actually went to see it alone. So both number 1 movies I saw in theater alone. No issues though. Like I'm actually kind of coming around on it. Honestly, it's like kind of easier. Like if I don't have anyone who wants to go see this movie with me, I'm like, all right, I want to see it. It's in theaters. I don't know when it's gonna come out on streaming or if it even will come on one of the platforms that I have. So I'm like, screw it. Let's just use a free movie credit that I have and just go. So definitely would endorse that more. Like just normalize it. It's not weird, honestly. Like, I'm very comfortable just going alone and ripping that. Take my shoes off and my stinky feet reek up the place. I love going alone.
But when you're going to a movie, you're not even talking to that person anyways all that much. So I go alone all the time. I used to go all the time. Yeah.
So no, great picks. Real quick, kind of something I would have liked to do last episode because we're talking about the movies of 2023, but we went very long there. So just quickly, Matt, do you have any movies that you're looking forward to this year off the top of your head? Like, do you have some that you're kind of circled, like, this is one of my most anticipated movies? Do you have a couple that you want to share?
Yeah, like, I know more like the horror movies that are coming up, and I'm excited for those. We're getting like a lot of follow-ups to franchises this year again.
Yeah.
And like this might sound like really weird for the average listener, but like, Well, no, no, they know I'm into horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited for Saw number 11, actually, believe it or not. There's going to be another one. There's going to be another, like, Scream movie, stuff like that. But, like, non-horror, I don't really follow. I follow more, like, the horror scene. So, like, I'm excited for all the horror stuff coming up. I'm like, drawing a blank right now. And I literally listen to podcasts that talk about this, like, what's going to come out in 2024. Okay, here's one I'm really excited for, guys. The movie called Maxine, which is the follow-up to the movie X, which was a sequel to the movie Pearl, and those are both on Amazon Prime right now. Maxine is the third one in the trilogy. I'm very excited for that. Starring Mia Goth. Going to be a great movie, hopefully. So I'm excited for Maxine.
Yeah.
That'll be that's the one I pick.
I'm down to go see that with you if you want, man. Like, I don't know what theater you go to there. If it's Landmark in Canada, like, I'd be down to rip it out there, honestly. I want to see that as well.
All
It's
right.
definitely on my list of movies.
Okay. Sweet, let's do it.
I think another one that would kind of fall under horror, maybe end up being more thriller mystery. One that I'm looking forward to is Nosferatu, actually. With
Robert Eggers' movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård, I think Lily Rose Depp, Willem Dafoe possibly as well. I think there's a solid cast in there. And as someone who I watched the old school Nosferatu movie, you had lent it to me way back in the day, Count Orlok. And I've also read the Dracula book, Bram Stoker's Dracula, so I don't know if they're really going to be drawing inspiration on that. But I'm pumped for Nosferatu for sure. That's one. Obviously, Dune 2, which is coming out soon now. It's in like 3 weeks by the time this is out. So that's one. There's, what's another one? Nosferatu, Dune Part 2.
Rebel Moon Part 2.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for that.
Have you seen the first one yet?
No.
Do them back to back. Actually, it'd be beneficial to do them back to back for you because then you don't have to wait.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see what it looks like. But those are the two, like,
You might love it.
Yeah? I've heard bad things, but so there's those two for me. What else? Like, obviously Deadpool 3 I'm looking forward to. That's the only Marvel movie this year.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Which I don't hate, honestly. They're kind of dialing it back.
Me neither.
Just one movie. I feel like that's the play. So those would be some. I think there's
that Fury Road one, Furiosa.
Yeah, I'd have to
That was
rewatch Mad Max. I haven't even really seen the old school ones, but Fury Road I've only seen once, and I think I don't think I was that into it, but everyone raves about this movie. Like, people say it's like 100 out of 100, 5-star, one of the best movies of the 2010s. I didn't see that at all when I saw it, so maybe I was like I was missing things, or I gotta rewatch it or something. So that's definitely one that I would want to watch, actually. Furiosa, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Chris Hemsworth. So that's definitely one I'll go check. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I'm pumped to see that too.
I just saw that. I'm searching on my phone. There's Joker Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. There's a Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Beetlejuice number 2. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Venom 3, Despicable Me 4. A lot of stuff there. Kong versus Godzilla, like at the sequel. Kong X Godzilla X Kong the New Empire. We just know that's going to be trash bags compared to Godzilla -1.
That's the thing. It won't be the same kind of movie at all, where it'll be like just straight up, like, I don't know, they're just fighting each other. Maybe more comic book-y than serious, like, terror. Yeah, and like we've already talked about, Godzilla, you could take the monster element out. You have a fantastic movie in it regardless, because there's a lot of like deep themes, messaging about just human crises, and you're not going to get that in this movie. Like, that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff. Also, I feel like there's going to be sleeper, sneaky movies that are just going to pop up and be like, oh, okay, this is getting good reviews. Like, there's this movie called Monkey Man that Jordan Peele is producing. I saw the trailer for it. It looks pretty solid. Like, it looks like a John Wick style movie. I'm actually pumped to see that. Monkey Man. Just keep that on the horizon.
Yeah. What do you think this? Okay, this is another movie. Do you think this will be a hit or a miss? It's a Lord of the Rings animated movie, The War of the Rohirrim or something like that. It's going to be about like it's an animated Tolkien movie. Do you think like that's a successful idea or not?
I've never heard of this before. My gut instinct honestly says this will not be good. I don't know why that was
Okay.
my first thought. I'm a big animated movie guy. I was actually going to recommend. I'm pumped for the Garfield movie that's dropping this year.
Nice.
But that I don't know for some reason. It should. Lord of the Rings, I love animated movies. I love, but I don't know. My initial thought to that was this won't be good. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too, but I don't have high hopes either.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, more
Um.
excited for Rings of Power.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's coming out this year. Honestly, I haven't heard anything on
I don't
that.
think so. I don't think so. Yeah, just House of Dragons this
Yeah.
year.
I'm pumped for that.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to recommend?
Not really. Like I saw a couple other movies, but they're not like not worth mentioning. I just saved it all for Godzilla -1.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a good rundown. I'll just say really quickly, I have Apple TV right now, so I've been watching a lot of the shows on there. I just watched the show that a lot of people have been talking about, Slow Horses. It's a Gary Oldman is the main character. Fantastic stuff. I just binged the first 3 seasons. The fourth one's coming out at some point this year. I'll watch when that's out. Very good stuff. It's like a secret intelligence show, like a British military, British secret
Oh,
intelligence, like
cool.
MI5, thriller, drama,
Cool.
mystery. Very good stuff. Gary Oldman's gotten a lot of praise for it, and his character is unreal. So definitely recommend that if you have Apple TV. Check it out.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear nothing but good things about that show. Same with that other Apple TV show, Blackbird. I heard that's fantastic.
Yeah,
So
they're
yeah,
pumping
Apple's
out
got
good
some
shows.
sleeper shows on Apple actually.
Yeah. Yeah,
Apple's
exactly.
gonna like
Go ahead.
yeah, they're gonna be bigger and bigger. Apple's gonna do nothing but grow and grow. That's my prediction.
Yeah, like I wonder if I had seen a lot of these shows that dropped last year, if they end up on my list top 10, right? Like a Ted
Yeah,
Lasso, for example. Love season 3. I just watch it. So yeah, no, keep
nice,
your eye out for like these little Apple TV shows, and they're getting a lot of props. So, but yeah, I guess that would be it for me as well.
nice.
So yeah, no, solid episode, Matt. Hopefully we gave you all some good tips on the gym, just enlightened you on maybe how to enhance your at-home workouts. And if maybe you're not in the workout game right now, a little extra nudge from the fellows over at Easy Conversations to get back into the game. So great job, Matt, as per usual. Any final notes for the listeners?
Just thank you everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed our talk about the gym and honestly go see the Holdovers and Godzilla -1. Both fantastic movies. Hope you're having a great time right now, enjoying the milder winter weather. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, well said, Matt. So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned for episodes dropping every 2 Mondays. Continue to enjoy the winter months. And yeah, peace.